What's up, everyone? Brian Phobos here, and we're back for another pool meeting. First thing I want to say in this pool meeting is that blockchain technology and projects like Bitcoin, Litecoin, Monero, etc. are great projects, and cryptocurrency is the future. With that being said, there is one coin that I get more questions about than any other coin, and that's Bitconnect. So right now it's number 12 on CoinMarketCap, and I always get the question, is it a scam? Is it a pyramid scheme? Is it a Ponzi scheme? Like, what is it? Brian, help us out. And I'm here to tell you that it is 100% a scam. Bitconnect is 100% a scam. It is a Ponzi scheme with an illegal multi-level marketing pyramid scheme stacked on top of it for the affiliate related commissions. So let's go into that a little bit further. Now, before I do that though, I want to, for the new people that maybe just found out, they've just heard the buzzword, oh, Bitconnect, or these different people are in Bitconnect, I don't understand it. Let me just explain a little bit about it. So essentially they did like an ICO back in 2016, about November or so, and they did the ICO, and then they launched this website, Bitconnect.com, and basically people could sign up for the website, and then you can basically loan this trading bot, which is so brilliant that it earns unbelievable percentages off the volatility of the cryptocurrency markets, or that's what they claim. And then you can earn, so you like commit your capital to it, and then on average it seems to be earning like 1.4% per day. 1.4% per day. And if you're skeptical when you hear that, you should be. You should be very skeptical. Because that's just a telltale sign, that things aren't right. There's just, that's absurd. So how did the Bitconnect, the person who created Bitconnect, create this bot that's far superior than any other person's bot, any other person's bot or their trading abilities and all that kind of stuff? It's just absurd. So then on top of that, let's say you can get involved and you can like commit your capital to this bot that's going to trade and earn you these returns. Not only on top of that, you can recruit others into this and make them part of your team. So you'll see that people are like, join my Bitconnect team. And so there's basically 7 levels in the illegal pyramid scheme portion of it. And like the first level gets like 7% earnings on, let's say you recruit somebody in, and then whatever they put their capital, whatever capital they put into it, you're going to get 7% onto that. And then on down the line, 7 levels, like various percentages. So let's back up for a minute and let's define what a Ponzi scheme and a pyramid scheme is. So let's start first with a pyramid scheme. A pyramid scheme, and most countries define it this, and so does the Federal Trade Commission in the United States, that if there's a system where you're earning more off the recruitment of individuals than you are of the actual sale of a tangible product or service, then it's a pyramid scheme, if your earnings are just based on recruitment. So with Bitconnect, how does that apply to Bitconnect? Well, there's no tangible product. If you look at like multi-level marketing companies, which are always sort of, people throw around that term like, oh, it's a pyramid scheme, Amway's a pyramid scheme, Herbalife's a pyramid scheme. And they say that, and I would agree with them. But it's sort of like, well, is it an illegal pyramid scheme? Is it illegal? And that's a very gray area. And the FTC will shut these down, or dole out huge fines with them. They sued Herbalife a few years ago, and Herbalife was made to pay $200 million for this settlement with the Federal Trade Commission, like basically at the end of 2016, and then they doled that out in checks to former distributors who had basically been ripped off by Herbalife. Other companies have been taken down, like there was one out of Phoenix called Verve, and it was an energy drink, and they were even sponsoring the Phoenix Suns and all this other stuff. So it seems like it has this legitimacy to it, but ultimately the FTC ended up suing them and saying they're in a illegal pyramid scheme because the majority of the money was coming through recruitment instead of the actual sale of this energy drink. So anyway, that's where it's defined. So it's very blurry as far as these multi-level marketing companies. Now with Bitconnect, what's the tangible product or service that you're recruiting this person into? And it's like, well, you get Bitconnect coins, And then that defense doesn't play out to keep it from being illegal, because it'd be like, what if I set up a pyramid scheme here and then said, well, we're going to use Canadian dollars, and so since we're using some other currency, then it's going to be legit, because it's not US dollars. Well, that doesn't make sense. It's still a pyramid scheme. And then you say, well, we're recruiting them into this platform where this trading bot is going to, earn these ridiculous returns. And it's just like, well, you could say, like, is that a service, that this company's providing? Usually with the service ones, okay, in the multi-level marketing industry, there's two main ones that come up. They're service related: prepaid legal and ACN. So prepaid legal, what they do is you get these people into this company, and then let's say you pay each month, and then let's say if you got a traffic ticket or if you got sued or something like that, you would have a certain amount of hours with a lawyer that you've already kind of prepaid for on a monthly basis. Is that worth it? I don't think so. It's just kind of another dumb thing. But there's this service that's not a service that the company's providing, but it's a third party, these third party lawyers that they've in different states, and they're recognized, and they've they're able to practice law in their different states and all that stuff wherever you are. So let's say ACN, they're selling mainly other people's services. Like, you can get people signed up for different cell phone plans, DirecTV, Dish Network. I don't know all the services they provide, but it's typically not a service from ACN. It's that you become this sort of rep that can sign them up for, third-party services like cell phones and internet and TV and all this other stuff. Is that a good deal? No, I don't recommend people to do that stuff. But that being said, Bitconnect, they've got their own service here where you're committing your capital to it, and this supposed brilliant trading bot is then making these absurd returns. Now again, a lot of the stuff I'm seeing is it's averaging 1.4% a day. Absurd. This is ridiculous. That isn't happening. I can tell you that right now. There's no evidence of this bot. If they was trading that amount of volume and making these types of returns, then people would see it and be able to point out and say, okay, well, I think the Bitconnect bot is right there on HitBTC. It just made a trade. Oh, look, the Bitconnect bot's over there at Bittrex, and it's pulling off these trades. But no one's been able to ever determine or have any evidence that this bot exists. And I can tell you right now, even if there's some rudimentary bot that's trying to do, bid-ask spreads, or it's doing arbitrage or something like that, I can tell you it's not making those types of earnings. And the one big thing that you can just really tell that this thing's a scam is that, do you really think that the person who created Bitconnect is going to give you all these affiliate commissions and all these earnings out of the kindness of their heart? If their bot worked that well, then they would immediately be able to show this to venture capitalists, and those venture capitalists would be like, wow, okay, here's $200 million to commit to this, or whatever amount. It'd be pretty much like unlimited, like blank check status, if it could trade this well. You wouldn't need to have like all these like random people doing these $100 loans, these $1,000 loans, and all that stuff like that. So that being said, let's go to Ponzi scheme. What makes something a Ponzi scheme? Well, it's if the old investors are making their earnings off of the new investors' money that's coming in. And you'll see this, Bernie Madoff is the most famous one, where, was he trading in the market? Yeah, he was trading, but was he making the types of returns that he was claiming? No, not even close. And so he was just using it as personal piggy bank, balling out of control, and living the high life, and then basically just living off of other people's money. And then when the market went down and people start pulling their money out, you don't have new people, you don't have new money coming in, it all collapses on itself. So famous investor Warren Buffett said, when the tide goes out, we'll see who's swimming naked. So the same thing's going to happen with Bitconnect. When the cryptocurrency market pulls back and there's not enough people to commit capital in through these loans, they're not going to be able to pay out the interest on these other people's loans, and then it'll just disappear. Otherwise, it might get shut down by the governments first, whether it be U.S. government or something else. It'll be deemed an illegal Ponzi scheme and an illegal pyramid scheme, and it'll get shut down that way. Now, there's a lot of people involved in it. You're seeing it being pitched on Steemit. You're seeing it pitched on YouTube, and these different people are like, I'm going in, I'm putting $100,000 loan in, and people are like, oh man, you're a boss. I mean, they're not bosses. All that money actually came from this scam and getting more and more and more people into this scam. It's like the recruiters for this scam. And just one day they're just not going to get their money back. And that goes for somebody has $100 loan, or if you have $100,000 loan. Just one day you're just not going to get it back. So if you're in it right now and you're kind of like, you know what, I think he's right, just beware. Probably not going to get your money back whenever, or maybe you do. Like, I feel like 80% of the people in Bitconnect know it's a scam. And some of the top recruiters in the thing, like Trayvon James and Craig Grant, have admitted that they don't believe that the bot is real. That there's screenshots of them saying that it's not. They think it's just a story, which obviously it is just a story. There's no bot trading, and making those types of returns. So really, when it boils down to it, are they going to get in trouble? These top recruiters may or may not. I mean, sometimes when like large multi-level marketing companies get class action lawsuits against them, some of the big time distributors for making false income claims and stuff like that will get sued along with the company. They're named in the lawsuit, that kind of thing. But does the Federal Trade Commission or the Securities and Exchange Commission go after these guys like Trayvon and Craig? Probably not. I mean, maybe they do. I just really can't say on that. But as far as like, I've known about Bitconnect for 8 months, and immediately I was like, this is a scam. And then now this keeps going and going and going and going, and more people are making more and more money, and people are asking more and more questions about it. And whether it's in 1 month or it's 6 months or it's a year, eventually it will collapse. Whoever created it, the website will just shut down. They'll be gone with the money, or they'll get, arrested. They'll get, what I'm saying? Like, they're going to end up in Club Fed, potentially, for running it. So anyway, like, for you guys to get involved in it, I don't recommend people getting involved in it, mainly for reputation reasons. I could have got involved in it 8 months ago, but did I? No, because it's like, your reputation is one thing that you can't kind of recover a lot of times. And so when this thing collapses, and I'm sure Trayvon and Craig and guys like that, they'll just say, well, I didn't know. I didn't know. And then maybe they're able to, people still listen to them or whatever. But ultimately, that's my assessment of the situation. 100%, it's a scam. I don't recommend you getting involved. It could keep climbing. Maybe it gets up to top 5 in the cryptocurrency market, but eventually it will fail. So anyway, thanks for attending the pool meeting. See you guys later.